Real quick, I want to go to each of you for your thoughts on this. Kicking off on July 1st, when enforcement starts for CPRA, what do each of you think will be the Attorney General's new privacy agency? How are they going to prioritize these enforcement efforts? Your thoughts on maybe what we should be prepared for July 1st. Jana, do you want to start?
Sure. I think that they are going to continue to drill into what you have to do for the opt-out and the GPC recognition. I continue to see things that I know don't comply. And I mean, I'd say 90% of the time or more, it doesn't comply. It's obvious to me it doesn't comply. You'll see it, it'll say, you'll get a little cookie banner at the bottom, that says, accept all cookies, or maybe it just says accept all cookies, right? That's it. That's your option. That doesn't comply. Maybe it'll say accept all cookies, or else it'll say, or show me other things. And if you click on the show me other things, there should be this giant list of stuff that nobody wants to wade through. And so what do? I go back, accept all cookies. It's like, and so there's no symmetry in that, right? And so that's one way to do it, is just Google around, go to different companies. And if it's annoying, if you're not reading it, then it's not going to work for the AG. They want it to be, simple and fair, and symmetrical. And so I think they'll probably start throwing around the dark pattern language to make it seem like you're, evil. And so I think that until what's unfair about it is that they're really ahead of the technology. And I think Andrea commented on this. I mean, it's only very, very recently that anybody was even able to honor the GPC. I mean, this is still pretty new. And so they're trying to drive, and they say it in the, I think it might even, I don't remember where I read it recently, if it's on their one of their blurbs on their website, but they're trying to drive innovation through regulation. So I mean, really? Wow. Okay. So you have to comply with something that doesn't exist or that is really difficult to implement, because it's not like there's just one. I mean, there is one GPC thing. You can go to globalprivacycontrol.org and look up the status and who's, into it. But there's they want you to be able to accept any of them. And there are others that are competing with those. And so I think until it lands somewhere where there's sort of an accepted, this is the one way you do it, it's still going to kind of be all over the place. And I think it's going to be important to watch the website for the AG's office and the new agency to see what they're advising. The other thing to keep a lookout for, I think, is what does it stand? The IAB, something Advertising Bureau. I can't remember. Anyway, Internet Advertising Bureau. And they have been trying for several years now to implement a kind of a flow through contract to where the whole digital advertising ecosystem you can opt for service provider and it will flow through the whole ecosystem, amongst all of the ones that have signed on. I think that's an important one to watch too, because there's got to be ways to do this that are easy, or else people can't comply. So.
Thanks, Jana. I'm sorry to interrupt. We're running tight up on this time, and I want to make sure we can get some thoughts from Andrea before we wrap up today. Andrea, your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with everything Jana said. I was going to say the website compliance is the real fast and easy thing for them to start with, and I think that they will be looking at a lot of these companies' websites. I think what will be interesting is the elimination of the 30-day cure period now. So I'm wondering how that will affect what happens to enforcement actions generally. So we'll see.